Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we are tackling a huge one, artificial intelligence. This isn't science fiction anymore, it's already shaping your world in ways you probably don't even realize.
I mean, think about it. The app that picks your next favorite song, the GPS that gets you home, that's all AI. But the term gets thrown around so much it can feel kind of meaningless. So what is it really? Let's get to the heart of how this technology actually works.
Alright, so here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the big picture, then take a look back at the history. After that, we'll pop the hood on how these machines actually learn, check out the modern revolution, and then wrap up with the really important stuff, the ethical compass we need to navigate all this.
Okay, first things first, we've got to get the lingo right. To really understand AI, you need to know how it fits with two other key terms, machine learning and deep learning. Think of them like those Russian nesting dolls, one inside the other. So AI is the biggest doll, the umbrella term for the whole field. It's this massive, overarching idea that a machine can basically simulate or replicate human intelligence, from simple automation all the way up to complex problem solving.
Now, nestled inside AI is machine learning. You'll hear people call it ML. This is really the engine that drives most of the AI we see today. The big shift here is that instead of manually programming a computer with a rule for every single possibility, ML lets it learn patterns directly from data. That's how it gets smarter over time.
And if we go one layer deeper still, we get to deep learning. This is where things get really cool. It uses these complex structures called neural networks, which are, loosely inspired by our own brains. The deep part just means these networks have many, many layers, which lets them tackle incredibly complex patterns. This is the magic behind your voice assistant understanding you, or your phone recognizing faces and photos.
So how did we get here, from these kind of basic logic machines to the powerhouse systems we have today? Well, the journey of AI wasn't exactly a smooth ride. It's a story packed with brilliant ideas, some pretty big setbacks, and then some absolutely incredible breakthroughs. It all kicked off back in the 50s, with people like Alan Turing asking a simple question: can machines think? But you can see from this timeline, it wasn't a straight shot to the top. You had these bursts of excitement followed by these AI winters, basically times when the hype got way ahead of what the technology could actually do. The real game changer, though? That was in the 90s, when the focus moved away from writing hard-coded rules to letting the machines learn from data themselves. That one shift, it set the stage for literally everything we're seeing right now.
Okay, so we keep saying machines learn, but what does that actually mean? It's not what you think. It's not about consciousness. It's all about algorithms and data. Let's pop the hood and see how it really works.
All right, so there are basically three main ways a machine learns, and it all depends on the job it needs to do. First up, you've got supervised learning. This is like flashcards for an AI. You show it thousands of pictures and say, this is a cat, this is a dog, over and over until it can figure it out on its own. Then there's unsupervised learning. Here you just dump a whole bunch of messy, unlabeled data on it, and its job is to find patterns all by itself, like grouping your customers based on their secret shopping habits. And finally, there's reinforcement learning. This is pure trial and error. Think of an AI learning to play a video game. It gets points for good moves and loses points for bad ones, and it just keeps playing until it becomes a master. And all of that brings us right up to today, to the massive AI boom we're living through. The last few years have really been all about one specific kind of AI, one that's jumped out of the research labs and right into our hands. Yup, we are talking about generative AI. And this is a huge deal, because unlike older AI that could just, classify things or make predictions, generative AI is a creator. It doesn't just analyze what's there, it makes brand new stuff that never existed before. And what can it create? Well, the list is getting longer every day. We're talking about writing emails that sound just like you, making photorealistic images just from a text prompt, composing music, writing complex computer code. It's changing the very definition of creativity in everything from art and music to science. So, what was the spark that lit this fire? Well, a massive breakthrough happened in 2017 with something called the transformer architecture. See, before that, AI models read text kind of like we do, one word at a time, and they'd often get lost in long sentences. But transformers, they could look at the entire sentence all at once and understand how every single word related to every other word. That leap, right there, is what made today's incredible large language models, like ChatGPT, even possible. But, and this is a big but, with all this incredible power comes some really critical responsibilities.
So the last piece of our puzzle isn't about the tech itself, it's about us. It's about how we guide it. And that means facing the ethical challenges head on.
Look, we have to be honest about the tough questions here. AI learns from data made by humans, right? So if our data has biases, the AI will learn and even amplify those biases. Then there's the whole privacy thing. A lot of these models are trained on tons of data that was just scraped from the internet without anyone's permission. And we can't forget the environmental cost. Training these giant models takes a staggering amount of energy.
And this isn't just theoretical. Here's a perfect real-world example. Back in 2018, Amazon had to scrap an AI recruiting tool because it taught itself to be biased against women. It learned from a decade of resumes where men were hired more often, so it concluded that male candidates were just better. It's a stark reminder of how easily our past mistakes can get baked right into the future if we're not paying attention.
The privacy issue is just as big a deal. You've probably seen those AI art apps, right? Well, many were built on billions of images taken from the web without asking the artists or the people in the photos for permission. It really forces us to ask some fundamental questions. Who actually owns our data, and what are they allowed to do with it?
Okay, and before we wrap up, let's just bust one major myth. Despite what you see in the movies, the AI we have today is not conscious. It doesn't think or feel or have emotions. It's an incredibly sophisticated pattern-matching machine, that's it. It's all about math and statistics, not genuine understanding. It's a tool. A powerful tool for sure, but still just a tool.
So here's the bottom line. Understanding AI isn't just for tech geeks anymore. It's for all of us. Because as these tools get more and more powerful, the most important question isn't what can AI do? It's what should we let it do? The future of AI isn't just being written in code. It's being shaped by the choices we all make, starting right now.